I see so many people mess things up when they repeat back an email that someone's curating for them. Hi guys, my name's Deepak Shukla, founder at Pearl Lemon Sales. We're a sales training and development agency based in the UK as well as the USA and serving clients worldwide. And here today in day number 18 of 119 days of cold calling training, we're here to talk about a nuance of the whole email section we're doing now, how to repeat back the email approach. But before we get into it, feel free to click the link below to get an additional 17 strategies not shared in this training. So I hope you guys can see that I do out and out cold calls because of the kind of stuff that we're going through. This is stuff that I don't believe I've ever seen covered in any training, both free and paid, anywhere that I've come across, but they're things that I see people screw up all of the time. So specifically, we're talking about today now, how you repeat someone's email back to them when they're telling you what their email is. I see it happen with me. It pisses me off, and people don't even realize they're making this mistake. So when you repeat back someone's email, okay, it's really important that you repeat it. It's a really simple thing, okay, but letter for letter. And I'm going to go through the range of reasons why and an example of, that kind of screwing up and the various outcomes. So look, that's how you spell my name. It's clearly not a great way to write it, but that's how you spell my name. And fundamentally, if you take an email down from me, if you cold called me, then you'd say, great, Deepak, do you mind if I grab your email? Yeah, sure, brilliant. It's DEE. Guys, I've paused there purposefully because you were probably wondering what just happened after I said, and I'll show you again. Listen for the pause after DEE. Remember, this would be on a live cold call that someone calls me, and someone calls me and they say, yeah, brilliant, Deepak, is it okay if I grab an email for you? Yeah, sure, mate. Are you ready? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Brilliant. So it's DEE. Did you get that? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, do you see what just happened there? That I've said DEE, and the reason that I have said DEE and not DEEPAK, because much like giving someone a phone number or giving someone a spelling of anything, you don't give them the whole series of characters in one swoop. You break it down into consumable chunks, much like anything. And then to confirm that someone's got through that chunk, they need to say, yep, I've got that. What's next? Yep, I've got that. Please continue. Something to that effect, some kind of verbal cue that they have understood what you've said to them. And that's where ultimately repeating it back is the sincerest form of flattery. They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So why don't you just repeat someone's bloody email back to them? So if I give you my email address and I say, yeah, Richard, sure. Have you got a pen, mate? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, here we go. So it's DEE, brilliant. DEEPAK. PAK. So DEEPAK. Yep, I got that. Great. Do you see that that is a very natural, detail-orientated exchange where the recipient of my email who's calling me, that's Richard who's just cold called me, is paying attention and verbally demonstrating that he's carefully scribing, writing down my email address word for word. And he didn't do the thing that I still see people do sometimes, and it's probably nuances of how people are used to acknowledging that information is being received. They don't say anything, and they just wait for the whole thing to be finished. And people can't mind read. They need to know that you're ready to take the rest of the email, because whilst ordinarily that might work for you, that you'd think, well, he could just give me his old email and I'll write it, I'll write it down. Or he'll say DEEPAK. Brilliant. So I've got that, Deepak. That's not what. So people can mess it up, first of all, and that's why it's important to repeat it back. So it gives assurance to the prospect that you're not going to screw up the writing down of their name, which is very, very important to them, of course. I don't like people spelling my name wrong. I accept that it happens, but I don't like people spelling my name wrong. I don't think anyone else does either. People don't mind, but they don't like it. So don't do it if they don't like it. So also, when, for example, I give my name to you, and I'm actually a good example here because I've got not a common, I don't have a standard British name. So or a British name. So when people repeat back to me my name, they're not repeating back to me what I've actually said. So I'll say, great, Richard, you got a pen? Yeah, great, go ahead. So it's DEEPAK. Great, so I've got that. Deepak. Richard, that's not what I said. Can you? I just want to make sure you got the spelling right. Could you? Yeah. So yeah, sure, I've got it. Sorry, Deepak. Yeah, it's DEEPACK. Do you see what I just said there? Because Richard didn't repeat back the words, I wasn't sure he wrote it down wrong, right? And he's inserted this C from nowhere. Okay, he's inserted this C from nowhere, and that's the danger of what can happen when you don't repeat back someone's email address. And the problems around all of this, okay, separate to, well, why does it matter, is you never want to do anything that will create, I probably should do a separate training about this as well. You should never do anything that will create annoyance in the mind of the prospect. And there are all kinds of ways to piss off busy people because they're busy, so their time is precious. So get to the point, or be kind, be respectful, and be smart. So repeating back an email carefully, word for word, not word for word, sorry, letter for letter. Even I got the expression there wrong. Repeat it back letter for letter, okay? Word for word is nice, but it only works with the generic stuff. But you've got to be very specific about how you repeat things back when it comes to the email. Right, guys, on to the next one.
Remember, we've got 17 gated strategies just waiting for you. All you need to do is bing, subscribe, as well as click the link in the description below to get access to those 17. Get some.